Today on SLEDHEAD 24/7, a destination ride to a snowmobiler's paradise. Endless trails and massive snow amid the natural beauty of the western UP of Michigan. She's the leader of the pack, all the way from Sweden to the top of the box. Head into the pits to find out what makes Alenia Olmen and her Polaris team dominate the pro women's class. The backbone of any snowmobile is the chassis, and you better believe Ski-Doo has stepped it up. We'll get the latest new information, how this chassis is a game changer. Snocross is one of the most physically demanding sports on the planet, and the logical follow-up is world-class medical care on site. Find out how FXR Mobile Medical is keeping racers safer. Those stories and more next on SLEDHEAD 24/7.
Welcome to SLEDHEAD 24/7, your show for everything snowmobile. We are here today at Heinen's Motorsports. I'm your host, Chelsea Scorch, joined by Jeff Fisher. Now, Jeff, let's talk about Ski-Doo. They're always innovative, always changing. What's new for them?
You know, new, they have a whole new snowmobile. Their 850 Gen 4 chassis. They didn't even hardly keep a part number from the past. So we get a chance to sit down with some of the engineers and riders that made this whole project happen.
Well, let's head up to Quebec and take a look.
With the new Gen 4 chassis with the 850 E-Tech, it is an all new chassis. Everything about it is new, everything about the motor is new. And when you go from the XM to the Gen 4, it's a night and day difference.
It's by reading between the lines what customer wanted to do with the product, and also looking at customer riding the units.
And we want a perfect weight balance side to side. So at the end, the engine position was key on that. Because when you have the weight in the middle and you go into a corner in the trail segment, you can push the weight on the skis and keep the ski on the snow and being able to cut the corner at the speed you want with less energy. And when you go into the mountain, and you won't boondock in between the trees, you can just push on the running board, bring the sled in the direction you want, because the engine is in the middle and it gives you more body input impact on the vehicle. And then you push the throttle and you go.
Before I even had a chance of even riding that sled, I just looked at it and I was like, I like this sled. This sled is for me. Me being a smaller rider in general, having a narrower seat, narrower side panels. I mean, I could already just look at it from a distance and be like, this sled is gonna be awesome on the snow.
With the beveled tunnel, the way that the running boards are built, you just ride the sled. You don't have to sit there and kick your running boards out. You know, it almost feels like a dirt bike.
If you haven't gotten the chance to ride an 850 yet, you should really make it a point and feel the power and the response and the agility that it offers. Once you're on it, you don't want to get off.
Well, that looked awesome, Jeff. What other things did you see happening up at the factory?
Well, you know, there's stuff, they're moving and they're shaking. There is stuff going on constantly up there. There's innovative stuff coming down the pike. All I can say is hang on, keep your hands and feet in the cart at all times.
Well, we will look for more from Ski-Doo, but you guys better stay tuned. There's more to come after this.
When SLEDHEAD 24/7 returns, a trip to another world. The Western UP, Michigan is utopia for a snowmobiler. She's simply dominating. We're talking about the Swede of speed, Alenia Olmen. It's a rough and tumble world on the snowcross track. But good news, FXR Mobile Medical is standing by. But first, here's today's AMSOIL Tech Tip.
If you're a snowmobiler, you probably have a trailer, you probably have a sled deck. What you don't probably realize is that you're stressing the differential of your vehicle. You need to take care of that differential, and AMSOIL Severe Gear can do that. It's designed for extreme environments, such as heavy towing. So the pressure between the gears, it generates a lot of heat, it generates a lot of pressure, and what can happen there is you get pitting, you get wear, and you get premature failure of the rear end, ultimately leaving you on the side of the highway. So remember, make sure you're servicing that rear axle using AMSOIL Severe Gear.
SLEDHEAD 24/7 is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. By Polaris. Terrain domination. Arctic Cat. Share our passion. Skidoo Snowmobiles. What matters is what's next. FXR. World-class outerwear. And by Ram Trucks. America's longest lasting pickups.
Welcome back to SLEDHEAD 24/7. Now we know that snowcross is an exciting sport, but it is also a very physically demanding sport, especially when those riders get on those extreme tracks.
That's right, and it's great news for all the racers is the FXR Mobile Medical is there to take care of any mishaps.
You're looking at one of the most physically demanding sports on the planet, snowcross.
They came over the finish line, jumped and landed on me. Ended up breaking every rib on my left side and collapsing my lung and filling it with blood.
Ooh, last winter I had a big one on my shoulder. I dislocated it and tore everything. I don't even know the words of everything, but...
I had a problem with the throttle was breaking, the plastic. So I thought it was the plastic who broke. And then I looked down and the thumb was tweaking backwards. So then I took it and put it back again and went off the track. And I figured I was done. It was, too loose and damaged inside. It was a little bit weird.
Mainly my shoulders I have problems with. I've had 4 surgeries and I broke my pelvis before and my femur and collarbone. And
yeah, we're really excited about this new venture to bring elite medical care to elite athletes. And these guys kind of put it all on the line. They're action sport kind of heroes and that sort of thing, and the risk of injury is very large. And so the need for medical care on trackside is huge. And so we're excited to bring that kind of service to these guys and kind of keep them protected and safe.
Much better now that we have medical staff here. We don't have to worry about where the hospital is, how fast we can get there. So it makes me feel a little better.
FXR Mobile Medical was developed because we want to bring elite mobile medical care to the athletes in our sport. The goal of our team bring world-class care to these athletes. Trackside. Like, you can get this kind of care in town. We can life flight you there, but we're bringing it here. Be able to treat them, to get them back on the track, competing, doing what they do best.
The Polaris Rapid Response Rangers get racers on and off the track fast, and that's important to keeping races safe.
What an awesome idea. I mean, to have a staff of doctors and people that can respond to issues on the track, injuries and such, but having the same people here that are get to know the riders and can react the way they need to in a hurry. My wife Sarah and I are helping out, and my contribution to it was building a really cool insert for the Rapid Response Ranger to hold the backboard. And there's a seat in there, a jump seat, and then there's also a drawer to hold the medical equipment and supplies that they need on track. Just bust across the track whenever they need to.
Mike Schultz lost his leg in a racing accident a few years ago, and now knows better than anyone how important on-track world-class medical care is.
It is extremely important to have a crew of people that can react to those situations in a hurry and be able to pick up the rider efficiently and get them to the ambulance and get them onto the hospital if there's a really bad situation.
There's so many injuries that occur, and you always want to know what caused them and what type of protection could have been used that might be able to have reduced the extent of the injury. And as we go forward, that's where I really want to focus on that aspect as well, and are there products we can develop?
Big thanks and a shout out to FXR, Omen Health and Fitness, Polaris, Triton Trailers, and Cornerstone Ram for making the sport safer.
Now, Jeff, it's early in the season, but we've already heard a ton of positive feedback about the FXR Mobile Medical.
I know as a father of a racer, my son races snow bikes, and it's very comforting to know that we have a top-notch medical staff on site to take care of any problems.
It absolutely is. Now, we'll be right back after a short timeout. Stay tuned to SLEDHEAD 24/7.
The wild, natural beauty of the UP awaits. When SLEDHEAD 24/7 returns, we're taking the Ram out for a destination ride to the western side of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
If you're looking for a great destination to go riding, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan never disappoints.
That's right, they have endless trails, plenty of snow, and the welcome mat's always out for all snowmobiles.
Well, Jeff, I'm ready. Let's go take a ride.
The Upper Peninsula of Michigan. To many, it's simply known as the UP. This North Woods backcountry is also one of the last truly wild places left on the planet. Beyond the natural beauty, the rare combination of wide open spaces and plenty of snow make the UP a snowmobiler's paradise.
Yeah, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan really has a mystique to it. Outside of a few select wilderness areas, you have 990,000 acres to recreate on.
This area, the Western UP, has been voted #1 for the best snowmobiling in all of the U.S. like 5 of the last 6 years. That tells you how good it is.
Today, we're exploring the Western UP and base camp for our SLEDHEAD 24/7 destination ride, the Lac View Desert Resort and Casino. Our rooms were right on the trail. This top-rated casino and hotel is the ultimate place to stay and play.
A hearty snowmobiler's breakfast.
And most importantly, the red carpet is rolled out to snowmobilers.
Just about every trail in the UP leads directly to us.
We tagged along with some UP locals known as Upers, and a few reverse snowbirds, folks who actually head north for the winter, including a family from southern Illinois.
Some of the best snowmobiling you'll ever find in the country up here.
The snow sparkles up here like diamonds. It's just beautiful.
Just like driving through a painting.
For great snowmobiling, you need plenty of snow, and the Western UP is located on one of the most snow-friendly places on the planet. As a result, you can look forward to at least 200 inches of snow every year, and that translates to great riding from November to late April, thanks to lake effect snow. You can certainly trailer your own sled up to the UP, but consider renting. You hit the trails in a brand new sled with all the tags, permits, and gear ready to ride.
You can come in, get your gear, get your sled, have a great weekend. It is definitely a hassle-free experience.
One must-stop along the trail is Rogers, a snowmobiler's kind of place. Plenty of folksy charm with a massive warming stove and simply amazing homemade chili.
I put a beer in there.
In the Western UP, there are more than 350 miles of groomed trails, the result of a dedicated team of trail groomers who spend at least 6,000 hours grooming the trails each season.
It's a lonely job, but it's instantly gratifying when you get to make a perfectly flat trail for everybody to enjoy.
The well-groomed trails led us to Lake Gogebic. It's the largest lake in the UP. A few sledders took advantage of the time-honored tradition of staring at a hole in the ice. Gogebic Lodge is a 4-season resort, sitting on one of the 38 miles of shoreline.
Guaranteed snow. I mean, you never get disappointed.
For years, mining put the UP on the map. Iron ore from the Gogebic Range was used in steel for the Empire State Building, locks of the Panama Canal, and the Golden Gate Bridge. Today, the miles of trails take riders through these old mining towns, and it's like riding through the pages of a history book. At the far end of the Western UP is one of the busiest power sports dealers in all of Michigan. Cloverland Motorsports sells, repairs, and rents sleds, and it's the hub of the power sports community.
It's paradise. Snowmobile-friendly people basically look towards serving snowmobilers. I mean, that's our main line, and welcome everybody, and hope everybody has a good, safe time.
Back in the 1800s, the U.S. Congress described the Upper Peninsula as a sterile region on the shores of Lake Superior, with a snowy climate that shall remain forever a wilderness. That's fine with the Upers, and even better for folks who love to ride the endless trails in this world with its own. Looking for more information on this snowmobile utopia? Check out what the Western UP has to offer at explorewesternup.com.
I'm joined by Paul Heinen of Heinen Motorsports. Now, Paul, it's getting to be kind of mid-season here for snowmobiling. Things are starting to come loose, oil levels getting low. What are some things that I need to do to make sure that my sled stays strong the whole year?
Yeah, we definitely want our sleds to operate properly, so definitely want to check your carbides. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to slide out of the corners and into the trees.
Yeah.
So take a look at that. Your track tension, your throttle free play, the nuts and bolts in the suspension can come loose. So those are the main things to take a look at.
So for some of the things that I can't do at home, tell us about the service department here at Heinen's.
Oh, sure. We've got 5 master mechanics that work on snowmobiles nonstop, ATVs, everything. So if you don't want to do it yourself, we're more than happy to do it for you.
Absolutely. Heinen's Motorsports here in Osseo, Minnesota. So make sure if you need anything done, come here so you don't end your season early.
From Sweden to the top of the box, we'll go one-on-one with the First Lady of Snocross as Alenia Olmen shares the secrets of how her Polaris helps dominate the sport.
SLEDHEAD 24/7 is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. Stud Boy. Traction with an attitude. Straight line performance. Ziegler Cat. Exceptional service backing the best equipment. The U.S. Air Force. Aim high.
Welcome back to SLEDHEAD 24/7. Now, Jeff, you and I have been around the race circuit for a number of years, and we've seen a lot of great riders come and go. But one of the great riders that's really starting to show her strengths on the circuit is Swedish rider Alina Olmen.
Yeah, she has her own rough and tumble style. She's out front and never looks back.
Let's take a look at the Davies Racing rider, Alina Olmen.
She's the leader of the pack. Meet Alenia Olmen.
For the final time, headed towards the flames and the AMSOIL finish line.
All the way from Sweden, Alina is simply dominating the Pro-Am Women's Class of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by
Jag heter
Red.
Alina Olmen. Jag kör för Davies Racing.
And her love of the sport is
I
quite
think
simple.
I can read the race pretty good. I never give up. I always want to win. Okay, yeah, the tracks are a lot longer in Sweden, and we race longer heats too, so it's more, you need to be more aggressive here.
Ice hockey fans may remember her cousin, Alenia Olmen, who raced a few years back. Alina has made the transition to living in America and is a big part of the Davies Racing
Well,
team.
you know, she's a great racer. It's really fun because she listens. She really wants to work hard. I've never dealt with anybody that works as hard as Alina does, especially in the women's class. She charges, and she's a super competitor.
And they're green, the final underway for Pro-Am women as they charge up the hill. And that looks like Omen early on, your race leader.
She rides really well. She really attacks traffic really well. And when somebody's close to her, she pushes hard.
Boy, she has been strong in round 3 and here in round 4 in Winter Park, Colorado.
On the track, it's all the way live. Non-stop racing and thrill, chills and spills. But life around the pits and the trailers can be the complete opposite. Basic, day-to-day living, preparing a simple meal amid what else? Their sleds.
A lot of protein and carbs. Good for us, we need it. I try to cook as much as we can, so I have it pretty much similar as home.
Round 3 in 4 of ice hockey at Winter Park, Colorado. The team rose to the challenge of racing at 8,000 plus
We had to change the jetting because it's a lot colder today. The snow's softer, so it's going to be less sticky, so we had to change the steering and the traction a little bit, and we're doing some
She has plenty of support and is pleased with the performance of her Polaris sled.
It's my second year now on Polaris, and I really like the new body. More than last year, it's easier for me in the corners. Yeah, it's for me that I was so short, it's a lot better, and yeah, I really like the Polaris.
The love of her life also races. Alina's longtime boyfriend is pro racer Peter Narza, also hails from Sweden. They cherish the time together and the need for speed.
Checkered flags are there, and Alenia Olmen's going to take the win.
Back on the track, the First Lady of Snocross is on her game. While she may miss Sweden, she's loving life on the track with her Polaris team.
I will try to win. I will do my best.
Well, that was a look at Alina Olmen, when she's one of many riders from Sweden. What's the difference between the tracks in Sweden to here?
You know, what I've seen is they're a little wider, a little less man-made jumps and a lot icier, but everybody I've seen has adapted to the tracks here real well.
Indeed they have, Jeff. And that's all the time we have today on SLEDHEAD 24/7. We want to give a big thank you to Heinens Motorsports for having us out today. Make sure you guys check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we're always live on SLEDHEAD24-7.com.
We take time to remember a young rider and racer whose life ended tragically while practicing for a cross-country race. Hunter Holt grew up on a snowmobile. You may remember a young Hunter from numerous appearances on SLEDHEAD over the years. His father, Steve Holt, is the owner of Speedworks and Tucker Hibbert's mechanic. When Tucker won round 6 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, his heart was heavy.
You know, this weekend, holy cow, this is the worst race weekend I've had my whole life. It's so difficult. And it's tough, man, I'm struggling.
Hunter touched so many lives in his 18 short yet exciting years. And today, we are sure that Hunter Holt and his spirit will live